all the way from Scotland.
But the UK Labour conference 2 weeks ago was like an SNP policy tribute act.
SNP cultists. See those people, they are that mental that I've heard so many of them unironically say that Labour is too right-wing.
So here's an offer, Jeremy. You say you want to bring water into public ownership. Well, the next time you're in Scotland, I'll show you how to run a public water company.
But it's going to be ruled with an iron fist. SNP cultists.
And while you're here, I'll show you how to abolish prescription charges.
And isn't it the case that Scotland gets a fair amount of money from the UK as a whole?
Shit tons of money. Yeah.
I'll show you how to get rid of tuition fees.
Even though they get like loads and loads of money from England as well. See, if we left the UK, all the social programs and all the benefits, they would all go. SNP cultists.
I'll even take you to DL Steelworks or the Fort William smelter and show you how to deliver an active industrial policy.
Scotland is still 96% white. And the reason for that is immigrants come to Scotland and it's cold and it's miserable and there's no fucking jobs. So they go to England where all the jobs are. And SNP cultists.
And while you talk about a fairer tax system, I'll show you how the SNP has already delivered a fairer tax system.
Scotland has the highest rates of tax in the whole of the UK. SNP cultists.
You see, for the SNP, it isn't just rhetoric. We win public support. We get ourselves elected.
Current ruling party, and they have done like horrendous bloody things, but the reason that they get away with it and the reason that they still have so much support is their single issue, Scottish independence, breaking away from England. And unfortunately, they do have a lot of history to draw from that they can exploit that contributed to the current mindset that Scottish people have. For example, back in the 80s, we had Margaret Thatcher, and Margaret Thatcher took a giant shit on Scotland, shut down the coal mines, shut down the shipbuilding, basically like something like 30% of Scotland was made unemployed in the space of 2 months. And it completely fucked the country up. And
history then, some of history can be used, that can be exploited to stir the blood, to persuade people.
Ever since then, not only did that entire generation immediately hate the Tories, hate England, hate anything right-wing, but they also raised their kids to be like that. You know, the Scottish upbringing is say please and thank you, don't hit girls, don't get in a stranger's car, and fuck the Tories. SNP cultists.
We put our money where our mouth is.
Like just this week, it turned out that 70 million just went missing. Right?
The Tories took 70 million pounds from you guys?
No, here's a better one. No, the Tories gave the SNP 70 million pounds to give out to councils to help them during the pandemic. None of the councils received a penny, and 70 million just fucking vanished. So SNP cultists.
And we improve lives in Scotland each and every single day.
Well, it ended up like going through a 2-year trial. So my trial lasted twice as long as Nuremberg. And I eventually got found guilty, obviously, and they fined me £800. And I said in the courtroom when I was given the £800 fine, I'm not going to pay it. I'm not going to pay it. You can come and arrest me. And then there was a lot of back and forth. Eventually, a warrant was issued for my arrest because I refused to pay the fine. I wanted to get it over and done with, so I called the cops on myself and told them where I was. The cops then, no joke, said to me, "We aren't going to come and arrest you until your name comes up in the computer." So I couldn't even get arrested. And eventually, without notifying me, they just seized the £800 out of my account. SNP cultists.
And we improve lives in Scotland each and every single day.
What they just done? Do you know what they just did as well?
No, please update us.
The SNP sent out a message on Christmas Eve to all of the unvaccinated mothers that are currently going through IVF on the NHS to tell them all that they are being kicked off the programme. They're not getting their IVF treatment because they're unvaccinated. And some of them had embryos, like fertilized embryos in the freezer. All they have to do is implant them in the body and that's it, that's you pregnant. Some of them were in that stage and they were kicked off the programme. SNP cultists.
But isn't it that I know that there's lots of, I want to say rumors because I haven't looked into this because I'm obviously not a woman despite looking like one. There's lots of rumors at the very least online that some of these vaccines might have issues with the menstrual cycle, might have issues with women being pregnant. So there is some maybe dubious, at least, precedent for these women to be skeptical.
Scotland, just 2 months ago, they haven't released the statistics since, had the highest rate of stillbirths in the country since the 80s. It was 26 in 1 month. And that Scotland's only about like 5.6 million people.
Yeah.
That was 26 stillbirths in like 1 month. SNP cultists. A lot of people are waking up to it now because support for Scottish independence is actually at an all-time low.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because the SNP are just that bad. I think a lot of people are realizing that they're going to vote themselves like out of the frying pan into the fire.